Okay, let's unpack this. Today on the deep dive, we are tackling something that promises to be a total game changer.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a roadmap, and I really don't use that word lightly, that claims it can completely revolutionize your relationship with food, your mirror, and maybe most importantly, your energy levels.
It's a big promise.
It is. We are diving into the ultimate vegan diet revolution.
It is a fascinating piece of work. And right off the bat, I mean, you just look at the cover, you see the branding for it, the DietDocs.
The DietDocs, exactly. And that's a name you want to pay attention to.
Oh, for sure.
You see that logo, you see the team of actual doctors on the front. These aren't just, random influencers throwing kale at a wall to see what sticks.
Right. No, this is science-backed. These are the masterminds behind a really, really comprehensive system.
And the source material we're looking at today, it's basically positioned as the holy grail of plant-based living.
That's the word they use. It claims to be a complete guide for, well, everything. Rapid weight loss, building muscle, overall vitality. It's not just a cookbook. It's more like a manual for operating a human body on plants.
It is so dense, but in the best way possible. We've gone through it, and we're going to try to extract the absolute gold nuggets for you today.
A big task.
It is, and I have to say this right at the start. We are just scratching the surface here. The DietDocs have put together a real treasure trove.
They have.
They're practically giving away the farm with the amount of information in this text. But to really get the full experience, I mean, especially the day-by-day plans we're going to tease, you simply have to get the book.
That's a really fair warning. I mean,
Yeah.
we can discuss the science and the philosophy behind it all day.
Yeah.
But the 90-day meal plan, the specific workout logs, that is something you need in your hands to actually follow along with.
Right.
We're giving you the lecture notes. The book is the lab manual.
The lab manual. I love that. So consider this your high-energy tour. Our mission today is to strip away the confusion. You know that feeling?
Oh, I know it very
Being a grocery store wanderer, just staring at labels like they're written in ancient hieroglyphics.
We've all been there, squinting at the fine print, trying to figure out if a cracker is safe to eat or if it has hidden whey powder or something.
Yeah.
It's paralyzing.
Totally. So we want to replace that paralysis with a clear, fun, and like you said, science-backed guide.
Yeah.
So let's address you directly, our listener. We call you the learner. Whether you're prepping for a serious health kick, maybe you're just a little curious about all the hype, or frankly, maybe you just want to look really good in your jeans. This deep dive is custom tailored for you.
It really does cover the whole spectrum. From the person who has never eaten a vegetable that wasn't, deep fried,
Right.
all the way to the serious athlete who's looking for that extra edge.
So, as the book says, and I love this phrase, buckle up, buttercup, we are about to dive into this beautiful, sometimes chaotic, but always rewarding world.
And let's connect the science to the lifestyle. That's the key.
But remember, and this is our immediate call to action here, folks, we are giving you the highlights.
Yeah.
To get the full 90-day plan, the workout guides, all of it, you really need to pick up the ultimate vegan diet revolution from the DietDocs. You will thank us later.
You will.
Now, let's get into section 1. Let's decode this thing. What does this lifestyle actually, look like on a day-to-day basis?
It starts with a definition, which seems really simple, but there is so often confusion.
So much.
Chapter 1 makes it crystal clear. A vegan diet excludes all animal products. So no meat, no dairy, no eggs.
And the one that always trips people up.
Ah, yes. No honey.
And they have this hilarious bit in the book that I just loved. It addressed the fish question.
Yeah.
You're the one. Oh, the pescatarian gray area. But fish is basically a vegetable, right? Exactly. And the book literally says, quote, fish is not a vegetable, Karen. Fish swim. Vegetables don't swim.
That's amazing.
I laughed out loud when I read that. It just sets the tone so perfectly. It's serious science, but it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Which is so important because people get really defensive about food. It's personal. But when you look at the science behind the green, as they call it, those defensive walls start to crumble because the data is just, it's so compelling.
Okay, let's hit them with the stats then. We are going to count down the top benefits from the book today. So let's start with the absolute heavy hitters. Benefit number 1 and number 2.
All right. So the book highlights some truly staggering numbers regarding our biggest killers. Benefit number 1 is heart health.
Okay.
We are talking about a lower risk of heart disease by up to 42%.
42%. Wait, stop. That's almost half?
It's almost half. That's an incredible number.
That is incredible. Why? How does that work?
Well, it's largely about something called the endothelium. That's the delicate lining of all your blood vessels.
Oh.
Animal products, specifically those high in saturated fats and a compound called heme iron, can really impair endothelial function. They make your vessels stiffer, more inflamed, and way more prone to plaque buildup.
So they're literally gunking up the pipes.
That's a perfect way to put it. When you switch to plants, you're basically sending in a cleanup crew. You're flooding your system with nitrates from leafy greens and antioxidants from berries that keep those vessels flexible and clean. It's like upgrading your body's entire plumbing system.
Wow. Okay, so that's a massive one. And benefit number 2 involves the other major chronic issue we're all facing.
Type 2 diabetes.
Right.
Exactly. The text notes a risk reduction of about 23%.
Still a huge number.
It is. And this one is all about insulin sensitivity. The idea is that high-fat diets, specifically with saturated animal fats, can essentially gum up the locks on our cells.
The locks.
Yeah, the insulin receptors. The fat molecules can get in the way, making it really hard for insulin to do its job, which is to get sugar out of the blood and into the cells for energy.
So the sugar just hangs out in your bloodstream, causing problems.
Precisely. Plant-based diets tend to clear out those locks. They're lower in that specific type of fat, so your body can start to regulate blood sugar naturally and much more efficiently again.
So you're basically decluttering your cellular reception. That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the internal stuff. But let's be vain for a second, because the intro of the book promises something else that I think a lot of people are interested in. Benefit number 3, the glow.
Yes, the aesthetic benefits. They're very real. Clearer skin, brighter eyes.
And I have to quote this again, more energy than a toddler on Christmas morning.
Wow.
I mean, who doesn't want that? I feel like most adults I know are operating on tired toddler after a long car ride. Energy, not Christmas morning energy.
It sounds like marketing fluff, I know, but it really does come down to a couple of key things. Inflammation and digestion. When you remove those heavy, often inflammatory animal products and you replace them with nutrient-dense plants, your skin clears up because your body's overall systemic inflammation just plummets.
So it's not just about what you put on your skin.
Not at all. It's mostly what you put in your body. Plus, you have things called carotenoids, the pigments in red and orange veggies. Eating more of those literally improves your skin tone from the inside out.
Wow. And the energy part?
It's simple, really. You aren't dealing with those heavy blood sugar spikes and crashes you get from processed foods. And you aren't expending a huge amount of metabolic energy just trying to digest heavy meats and dairy. Your body has more energy left over for, living.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not just about swapping a burger for a black bean patty, is it? The DietDocs make a bigger point that this is a whole philosophy.
Exactly. It's the why versus the what. It is a lifestyle philosophy that extends way beyond the dinner plate. It aligns with compassion for animals, a deep consciousness about your environmental footprint, and of course, personal health. It's a trifecta. You feel good about yourself ethically, and you look and feel good physically.
It's the ultimate win-win-win. But again, I have to say, if you want the full list of what is strictly off the menu and the really deep dive science regarding specific nutrients that we just don't have time to fully unpack, you have to buy the book.
You do.
The DietDocs lay it out in a way that makes you feel like an expert by, page 10. It's so clear.
So that brings us to the biggest hurdle people face, the absolute elephant in the room.
So the elephant. Or should we say the protein myth?
Section 2 is all about this. It's the first question, right? If you tell someone you're vegan, the first thing out of their mouth is always, but where do you get your protein?
It's the protein conversation. The classic dinner party interrogation.
Yep.
Suddenly, everyone at the table is a certified nutritionist, and they're all deeply concerned you're going to wither away right there in front of the mashed potatoes.
But the book just debunks this so beautifully with simple math. They point out that actual protein deficiency, a condition called kwashiorkor, is incredibly rare in developed countries.
Right. You don't see it.
You don't. And that brings us to benefit number 4, which is all about obtaining adequate nutrition without all the inflammatory bulk that often comes with animal protein.
Okay, so break down the math for us.
The average person needs about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So let's make that real. You take a 150-pound person, that is only about 55 grams of protein a day.
55 grams, that's it.
Yeah.
I feel like fitness marketing has totally convinced us we need, Hundreds of grams a day, protein powder and everything.
Exactly. It's one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. And the book lists the sources, and this is where it gets really surprising for people. A single cup of cooked lentils, 18 grams of protein.
Boom. That's a third of your day, right there in one simple cup.
A third of the way there. 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, you throw that on a salad, that's another 10 grams.
Okay, wow.
Even 2 slices of a good whole grain bread can have 8 grams.
Wait. Bread has protein?
It does, and that's the whole point. Pretty much all whole plant foods have protein.
I never knew that.
Your body is smart. It maintains what's called an amino acid pool. As long as you eat a variety of plants throughout the day, beans, grains, nuts, seeds, vegetables, your body just takes what it needs from that pool and assembles the complete proteins it requires.
So you don't need that one perfect protein source in every meal.
Not at all. The book jokes that you won't wither away into a sad, protein-deficient shadow of yourself, and you won't.
That's so reassuring. And this leads us right into what they call the ultimate food arsenal in Chapter 3. I love how they describe the shift in your pantry.
It's that.
It goes from beige meals, chicken, potatoes, pasta, to a rainbow explosion.
That's a great visual, and it really encourages variety. We are not just talking about, apples and bananas and iceberg lettuce here.
No way. They mention the everyday stars like bananas, potassium powerhouses, but then they tell you to go on an exotic adventure.
Okay.
Have you ever tried dragon fruit?
I have. It's visually stunning, very Instagram-worthy, but the flavor is surprisingly mild, right?
It is. Or
Yeah.
jackfruit.
Oh.
The book calls jackfruit the pulled pork of the fruit world.
That is such a great description because it's true. When you cook it, the texture is just uncanny.
It's amazing.
And it absorbs flavor incredibly well. It's a total texture chameleon.
And speaking of versatility, we have to talk about the vegetables. The book gives a shout out to spinach, Popeye's favorite, of course, but also cauliflower.
Ah, the chameleon.
Chameleon.
It really is. It can be rice, it can be a pizza crust, it can be buffalo wings, it can be a creamy sauce. It does everything.
It's the Meryl Streep of the vegetable world.
Huh.
It has incredible range.
That's perfect.
But let's talk about the thing people are most afraid to give up. The big one. Cheese.
The dairy dependency is very, very real.
It is. And the book addresses this head on. It has a great line that says, vegan cheese doesn't have to taste like sadness.
A low bar, but an important one to clear.
It is. And they highlight 2 things in particular: cashew cheese and nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast is an absolute game changer, nooch, as it's called.
Right.
It has this cheesy, nutty, umami flavor, but it's packed with B vitamins. You sprinkle it on popcorn, pasta, anything.
And cashew cheese.
When you soak raw cashews and blend them with some lemon juice, salt, and garlic, the creaminess is just unbelievable. It can be incredibly rich and decadent.
It really is. I've had some cashew-based cheeses that honestly rival the real thing. It's shocking.
And beyond just the taste, there is benefit number 5. Improved kidney function and reduced inflammation.
Okay, this connects back to what they call the fire extinguisher analogy, right?
Precisely. Think of it this way. Animal protein is highly acidic, and it creates a lot of nitrogen byproducts when you digest it. That puts a really heavy workload on your kidneys to filter all of that out.
So they're working overtime.
Constantly. Plant protein is just a cleaner burning fuel. It's much less taxing on the system. And regarding inflammation, think of these colorful plant foods as a fire extinguisher built right into your meals.
I love that image.
With every bite of antioxidant-rich food, you are constantly dampening the low-grade flames of systemic inflammation that cause so many chronic diseases.
So you're eating a fire extinguisher, but, a delicious lentil-based one.
Much, much tastier than the real thing, I promise.
Okay, now we are getting to the absolute core of why you need this book. This is the main event. We're moving into Section 3, the 90-day meal plan revolution.
This is the meat of the book, figuratively speaking, of course.
It is. This is the biggest selling point. The DietDocs have laid out a complete day-by-day roadmap for 3 full months.
I mean, just imagine never having to ask what's for dinner for 90 days.
That decision fatigue is so real, and this just solves it completely.
It's the #1 reason people fall off a diet or a new way of eating. They're tired, they're hungry, and they just don't know what to make.
Exactly. But listen, folks, and this is another one of those moments. We cannot read you 90 days of recipes right now.
No.
If we did that, we would be here until 2027. You need to buy the book to get the full roadmap. It's that simple. But we can tease you with some of the sensory details to show you what you're missing.
Okay, let's do it. Let's look at day 1. It starts strong, but simple.
Yeah.
Overnight oats paradise.
Which is such an easy win. You prep it the night before, oats, chia seeds, a little maple syrup, some plant milk. You wake up, and boom, breakfast is ready and waiting for you.
No thinking required. And that's followed by a one-pot lentil curry for dinner. Again, simple, hearty, super nutritious.
And then you fast forward to day 30. This is celebration day. The book builds in these little milestones. They have a recipe for special occasion French toast.
Ooh, special occasion. That sounds indulgent.
It does, right. But it's made with a cashew cream batter.
There are the cashews again.
See, so it's decadent, but it's all whole food, plant-based. And then day 53, this is where the plan gets really cool, I think. It forces you out of your culinary rut. They call it a cultural deep dive.
Yes, the plan deliberately introduces global cuisines. It's not just American health food. You'll see things like Ethiopian teff porridge or a Peruvian quinoa bowl.
It expands your palate while it's expanding your health. It forces you to explore the spice aisle.
It's not just boring diet food, not by a long shot.
No. And speaking of diet, Chapter 5 covers what they call the Rapid Weight Loss Protocol. This ties directly into benefit number 6, weight management.
This is for people who have specific body composition goals, and the protocol focuses on high fiber, high volume, but fewer calories. It's all based on the concept of caloric density.
I explain that.
Well, oil is very calorically dense. It's about 4,000 calories per pound.
Wow.
Vegetables, on the other hand, are around 100 calories per pound. So with this protocol, you're physically filling your stomach with massive salads and soups and steamed veggies. You feel full because of the sheer volume of food.
But you're actually in a caloric deficit.
Exactly. It's the magic formula for weight loss without feeling like you're constantly starving. You aren't fighting your hunger signals, you're just manipulating physics.
That is so smart. And while we're talking about what's happening inside, we have to mention benefit number 7, the gut health revolution.
This is a huge area of research right now, and the book is all over it. The goal here is diversity. Your gut microbiome, all those trillions of bacteria, they thrive on different types of fiber.
So you need to feed them a variety.
Exactly. The book recommends aiming for 30 different types of plants in a week.
30? That sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but it's easier than you think. Every herb, every spice, every different color of bell pepper, it all counts. And a diverse diet creates a diverse, healthy microbiome.
But with great fiber comes, well, great responsibility, or at least some adjustment.
We call it Fiber City.
Yes. Chapter 10 has a hilarious but very necessary troubleshooting section called My Digestion is Weird.
It's a very real thing. If you go from a standard low-fiber diet to a high-fiber vegan diet literally overnight, you might experience some gas and bloating.
The musical fruit effect.
The book calls it the terraforming phase. It's your gut bacteria throwing a massive party because they finally have all this amazing food they've been starved of.
So it's a good thing, but it feels a little weird.
It feels weird, but it passes. And the DietDocs give you actual strategies to ease into it. Simple things like soaking your beans properly, rinsing them well, and just increasing your fiber intake gradually instead of all at once.
Again, it's that practical advice. They don't just sell you the dream. They help you navigate the reality of the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Which brings us to section 4, fitness. Because the DietDocs aren't just about food. They clearly understand how the body works as a machine.
Chapter 6 is dedicated entirely to workout plans, and I love that they've tailored them for every single persona. They know not everyone is a gym rat.
Names are the best part. They have the beginners, I haven't exercised since high school plan.
Yeah.
Labs, I feel seen.
I know, right? And for the people who are a little more regular, there's the intermediate I exercise sometimes plan.
And for the beasts out there, the ones who love it,
Right.
the advanced I live for this stuff plan.
It covers everyone. And they dive right into the science of building muscle on plants because there's this huge misconception that you can't get strong without steak and chicken.
Which brings us to benefit number 8, muscle building.
Let's talk about it.
The expert advice here really details nutrient timing. They stress that eating a mix of protein and carbs within about 30 minutes post-workout is key to kickstarting muscle repair.
Okay.
And for athletes, they recommend aiming for that higher protein target we talked about, somewhere in the 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram range.
Yeah.
The book does a great job of differentiating between just surviving on a vegan diet and truly thriving as an athlete.
But here is the secret weapon for plant-based athletes, and I found this fascinating. Benefit number 9, recovery.
Yes. This is crucial, and it's often overlooked.
Why is it better? It's that inflammation point again. Plant-based foods are naturally anti-inflammatory. They highlight things like tart cherry juice and turmeric for their ability to significantly speed up recovery.
So how does that play out?
Well, training breaks muscle down. It's the recovery that builds it back up stronger. If you can recover faster because you aren't fighting all that systemic inflammation, you can train again sooner and more effectively.
That's a massive competitive advantage. You're getting back in the gym while the other guy is still sore and waddling around.
Exactly. But listen, the book contains detailed rep counts, sets, weekly schedules. We can't visualize all that for you on an audio deep dive.
No way.
To get your personalized plan, whether you're the high school dropout of fitness or the advanced athlete, you really, really need to purchase the book.
It's like having a personal trainer and a nutritionist in your pocket for the price of a book.
Absolutely. The level of detail in the rep schemes and the plan progression is crucial for getting actual results.
Now let's talk about what might be the hardest part of any diet. It's not the food, it's the people.
Oh, yeah.
Section 5, Surviving Real Life.
The social and the mental aspect, this is where so many people stumble. And Chapter 9 is the family dinner survival guide.
Oh, man. We have all been there, navigating Aunt Martha and her special tuna casserole that she made just for you.
And the question, the inevitable question, but where do you get your protein? The book literally gives you scripts. It teaches you how to handle what they call the arguer, the mocker, and the saboteur.
The saboteur is the worst. That's the one who tries to sneak butter into your veggies because they think they're saving you from your sad diet.
It happens all the time. But having a strategy is a game changer. The book suggests phrasing it as a sort of medical experiment.
How so?
You say, I'm just trying this for 90 days for my health just to see how I feel. For some reason, people respect experiments. They feel the need to argue with morals or ethics.
That is a really smart psychological play right there.
It diffuses the tension.
So beyond just handling the social friction, there is a massive benefit to your brain. This is benefit number 10, brain health and longevity.
They call it the brain-boosting cognitive enhancement plan.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, but what's the science behind it?
It's actually really solid. They highlight foods rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, like blueberries and walnuts, for their effect on cognitive function.
How do they work?
They improve blood flow to the brain, and they help reduce the kind of oxidative stress and plaque formation that's linked to cognitive decline. It's not just about your heart's arteries, but the tiny vessels in your brain, too.
And they connect this directly to the blue zones, those famous areas in the world where people live the longest, healthiest lives, like Okinawa in Japan and Sardinia in Italy.
And what's the common thread?
They are all predominantly plant-based. It's a huge piece of the longevity puzzle.
So you're handling the haters at dinner, you're boosting your brain, but what about when you're out on the road, when you're not in control of your own kitchen?
The book has a great section on travel and dining. It teaches you a skill they call menu hacking.
Okay, I love that term. Give us an example.
Well, let's say you're at a typical Italian restaurant. You look for the pasta with marinara, but you specifically have to ask them to hold the cheese because they'll often sprinkle it on automatically.
Right.
At a Mexican place, bean burritos are your best friend. Just make sure you say, no sour cream, no cheese. It's about learning to look at a menu and see the possibilities and the components, not just the limitations.
That's a great skill to have. And what about when you hit a wall? The dreaded dip.
The troubleshooting chapter is absolutely essential here. It's so realistic. For example, if you find you're always hungry in the first couple of weeks, the docs explain you probably need more calorie density.
So what does that mean?
It means you need to add more nuts, seeds, or avocados, something to give the meal more staying power. On the flip side, if you have low energy, they'll tell you to make sure you're taking a B12 supplement and getting enough iron from things like lentils and spinach. They troubleshoot your body like a good mechanic troubleshoots a car.
It's that expertise coming through again. You can tell the diet docs have worked with real people and heard all of these problems before.
Absolutely.
Now, for the people who really want to go even further, the high achievers, Section 6, Advanced Optimization.
This is Chapter 11. This section is for the biohackers in the audience.
We're talking next-level strategies here.
Oh, yeah. They get into nutrient timing for specific goals, advanced supplementation like creatine and beta-alanine.
Wait, hold on. Isn't creatine just for, Huge bodybuilders?
That's the common myth, but the research shows that vegans and vegetarians actually respond better to creatine supplementation than meat eaters do.
Why is that?
Because their baseline stores are naturally lower since it's mostly found in meat. So when they supplement, they see a much more significant boost in both cognitive and physical performance.
That's fascinating. What else do they cover?
They discuss intermittent fasting protocols like the popular 16.8 method and how to pair that with a plant-based diet to maximize something called autophagy.
Which is?
Basically your body's cellular cleanup and recycling process. It's a powerful anti-aging mechanism.
And sleep optimization. I saw that in there.
Yes. We mentioned tart cherry juice earlier for recovery, but combining that with a good magnesium supplement before bed is a powerhouse move for improving sleep quality, especially for plant-based athletes whose mineral needs can be higher.
And they even cover different life stages, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all plan.
No, not at all. They touch on pregnancy, the increased need for folate and iron, and also for seniors.
What about seniors?
Well, as people get older, they can become what's called anabolic resistant, meaning their bodies have a harder time building and maintaining muscle. So the book actually adjusts the protein recommendations upwards for them. It's truly comprehensive. It doesn't leave anyone out.
And finally, the destination. After all that hard work, day 90. The victory.
The book describes this part beautifully. It's not just an endpoint. They frame it as the victory lap lunch and the ultimate celebration feast.
I love that.
It's not just about finishing a diet. It's about celebrating the fact that you've reached a completely new baseline for your life and your health.
You imagine that feeling, day 90. You've actually done it. You feel amazing. You look amazing. Yeah. But here's the hook, listeners, and it's the most important one. The only way to get to day 90 is to start day 1.
That's the truth.
And the absolute best way to start day 1 is with the ultimate vegan diet revolution in your hands.
You need the manual. You can't build a house without the blueprints, and you can't really expect to rebuild your body and your habits without a solid plan.
So let's wrap this up. Let's look back at the summary of value here in our outro. We have hit the top 10 benefits from this book.
We have. Let's list them off. We covered heart health, diabetes prevention, the glow for your skin and energy, adequate nutrition, that's the protein myth, improved kidney function and reduced inflammation.
Right, the fire extinguisher.
Weight management, gut health, muscle building, faster recovery, and finally, brain health and longevity.
That is a staggering list of benefits. I mean, it's basically a full body upgrade.
It really is.
And honestly, we have to give huge praise again to the Diet Docs. They have taken a topic that can be so dry, so scientific, and frankly, a little preachy and intimidating at times.
Oh, for sure.
And they've organized it into a guide that is genuinely fun, readable, and most importantly, actionable.
They've done an incredible job. It's chaotic information made orderly and accessible. But I want to leave the listener with a final thought, one that comes from the conclusion of the book.
Okay.
This isn't just a diet. They say it's a revolution of your entire relationship with food.
I love that framing, a revolution.
The mindset shift is absolutely key. The book argues you aren't giving things up. You aren't losing meat or cheese or dairy. You are gaining abundance.
Gaining abundance. Tell me more.
You are gaining new flavors, new recipes, new energy, better health, and a new sense of vitality.
That is the provocative thought to take with you. It's about abundance, not restriction.
Exactly.
So here is our final call to action. Don't just listen to us talk about it. We are just two voices exploring this. Go get The Ultimate Vegan Diet Revolution by TheDietDocs.
It really is an investment in yourself, a powerful one.
Your future self, the one with the glowing skin and the energy of a toddler on Christmas morning, will thank you for it. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
See you next time.
Go eat some plants.
And buy the book.